Good day, this is Javier Lopez here to present a book by the name Focus on Them, Become the Manager Your People Need You to Be. This book is the result of a collaboration between several professionals from the Association for Talent Development from 2017. The presentation will be outlined as follows. There will be some book scoring on several aspects. It will also have a high-level summary of what's called the Axel model, which is the basis for the book. Some components of the Axel model will be also described in a little bit more detail. Some valuable wisdoms will be presented, and then key takeaways. When it comes to scoring the intellectual value of the book, it does present some intellectual value. A lot of the things that are mentioned are have been said before, so not a lot of new things there. So I scored it as a 3. Scientific rigor, not a lot of references to social sciences or brain development or anything like that. And for that reason, I gave it only a 1. Leadership value, it does add a lot of value. It's presented in like a manual form, so it's easier for leaders to follow. So I think there's a lot of value there. I give it a 4. And then readability, a 5. Very easy to follow kind of book. So it's very easy for anybody to follow. Summary of the book, like I said, it's a collaboration from the Association of Talent Development done back in 2017. And it was achieved by interviewing executives on the top skills that they consider are related to managerial success. The 5 top skills that they selected were accountability, communication, collaboration, engagement, and listening. And those are what make up what's called the Axel model. Going into some more detail into those skills, accountability, the manager instills confidence in their people, and the team members will find motivation within themselves to do their job when the leader is accountable for their actions. Historically, the word accountability has had a negative connotation. What the book, it's mainly talking about what it's expected from everybody, but usually it's referred to as a um, negative consequences. What the book talks about is talking to leaders to try to change the way in accountability is performed and make it more like a form of empowerment to their employees. When it comes to communication, things have changed dramatically over the years. Technology has made communication a lot faster and more agile, but at the same time brings a lot of challenges. There's a lot of informal ways of communication these days, like texting and social media. Also, the virtual teams have become very popular. There's a lack of face-to-face contact, multiple geographies, language and cultural barriers can be definite obstacles for communication. It is very important that managers acknowledge that and attack it. When it comes to collaboration, managers should not be perceived anymore as being above their team. They should be perceived instead as members of their team. And that way, collaboration can be achieved, true collaboration. That presents several challenges where the leaders need to be perceived as approachable, but at the same time, they need to maintain their leadership status and be respected. Um, the tool, I mean, the book motivates leaders to change a little bit their behaviors, to move from lecturing to more listening, from controlling to more influencing, and then making sure that they value diversity instead of just valuing similarity of ideas in the workplace. Engagement is the next important skill. An engaged team member understands their specific role and its importance as they feel valued and involved in the decision making process. It is very important for managers to start involving the employees more in the types of communication that historically would have been only reserved for like upper level management. It is important that organizational information, company objectives, strategic information is shared with employees so they understand a lot better what it is that the company is trying to achieve and what's expected of them. When it comes to listening, it's very important for managers to recognize their team members as the experts on each one of their fields. It's essential as an information gathering tool, and it's a very good way for the manager to get to really know the organization and get to know their people. some of the wisdoms that we're taking out of this book are that authenticity in a manager will give much higher levels of confidence to the employees and will make them more likely to reflect upon and understand the reasoning behind management decisions. It is important also for the leader to understand that it is okay for them to fail as leaders sometimes, and of course also okay for their people to fail sometimes. We're all human, we all make mistakes. The important thing is to learn from those mistakes and make sure they don't repeat themselves. The other thing is actionable feedback should be about teaching the people and not highlighting mistakes, or much less highlighting specific traits in the person. The last one is the setup to fail syndrome. It is a very common thing that happens where when an employee perceives that their manager expects them to fail, they will fail. So it is very important to be cognizant of that. Some key takeaways. It's very important to foster an environment of trust in the organization mainly through example. The leader should be very authentic and be the first one to be forthcoming with their team. Value your people by supporting their recommendations and their ideas so that they understand why they are there. And do not set your employees up for failure. I think it's the most important thing that every manager needs to acknowledge. Thank you very much, and I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you get a chance to read this book. It's very valuable. Thank you very much.